Yeah, Terry in New York.
Yeah.
This is something near to my heart. Terry, why don't you tell us what's been going on with you? What's on your mind?
Hey, hi, and first, I am thankful for this. I am thankful for this place, for lack of a better way to put it, because I've been seeing Christian nationalism and fundamentalism gaining huge ground, and I'm glad to know that there are people out there who are, fighting back with reason.
Sure.
I started out as a conservative Christian, shocker, and then I kind of moved to liberal Christianity, especially over the LGBT issues and the way that conservatism sees women. And then I opened up the rabbit hole of atheist YouTube, even though I was still in the liberal progressive Christianity.
Sure.
And then I got to a point where I started listening to Mormon stories and different deconstruction and deconversion. And then I thought, oh my God, if this God exists and the way that I've been taught about him and from what I've been reading about him, I don't like him. Even if he did exist, I don't like him.
I hear that.
Then I just when I was a Christian, I had rapture anxiety and dreams about hell. And I'm like, okay, I don't fear Hindu hell, like Islamic hell, Jewish hell, or anything like that. But I'm like, how would I bat away this indoctrination? Because it's kind of all around me. And even though I've unpacked a lot of crap, how do I kind of get rid of this last trinket in my hand?
Sure. No, it's a great question. It's an important question. I'll say that I addressed this in a little bit more length and detail than I'll do right now here on this channel. If you or anybody listening wants to check out the Atheist Experience Network on YouTube, there's a video called, I believe, The Fear of Hell is Disgusting. We have some other videos that try to specifically address this question in a handful of ways, and those may be useful to get into. But I hear you from the outset sort of saying, this isn't rational, right? Like, I don't believe in Hindu hell. I'm not losing any sleep over it. So why am I losing sleep over the Christian hell, which I also don't believe in? And I just want to start by saying that your nervous system does not have to be rational. It does not have to make sense. The things that scare you and upset you, they can be as stupid as a book falling off of a shelf. Your nervous system does not need to be argued with or debated with. And I stress that because I feel like we so often experience, I have this fear, I have this pain, and that sucks. And then we make it worse by saying, I shouldn't have this fear, I shouldn't have this pain. And we're doubling down on the painful experiences that we have. We make that distress worse by being distressed over what should be happening, what we think ought to be happening, and in that way lies madness. So I would encourage you to really just begin with accepting the fact that while this can change, while this certainly will change, that right now it is. And there's no point in debating that. There's no point in denying that or arguing with that. Right now, you are struggling with some of this distress, and as much as that sucks, that is okay. And I think that there's value in trying to analyze it and organize yourself, maybe trying to argue with some of the irrationality here. But it sounds like you've done that you've taken that intellectual approach in a great many ways. And while I don't want to dismiss any of that because it's powerful, it may not be the only approach. And you might be looking for ways to address some of the emotional hurts here. That might mean evaluating or investigating, when was I most afraid of hell? What was my experience of the concept of hell as a child? This part of me that feels really hurt and injured, maybe it's this immature part of myself because I encountered these ideas when I was 6 years old, and it terrified me to be a child. And so when you're trying to come with all of this adult logic and fix this feeling, the feeling's not going to be fixed because the part of you that's feeling it is stuck in that age of being 6 or whatever it might be for you. So That's kind of a broad overview. Certainly there are other resources and other things to explore, but I want to hear how all of that is landing for you. How does that feel?
So, yeah, the rational part is all there, and I think that so like my family, we didn't grow up religious. We were kind of like, we had the like blanket belief, God exists and Jesus is real and all that stuff. And I started reading the Bible because I had a very religious relative. And then that's kind of when like I started, for lack of a better way, indoctrinating myself,
Sure.
But and so like, and it's funny too, because like when I talk to my siblings, they're like, yeah, we used to call up church boy, used to be in church every week and stuff like that. And what I was really looking for was community, because I was this fat kid, nerdy with glasses,
Sure.
and church kind of had that community for me. And so like, when I got out of conservative Christianity over to liberal Christianity, I was kind of like, well, and bringing some of those conservative ideas with me, like the inerrancy of the Bible and like everything in the Bible is there for a reason, like that also kind of, in a way, even though I like the social justice aspect of it and the and really making a difference in the world for the better and using religion as a tool for that, I still came away thinking, well, there are some things that the liberal Christianity believes that isn't biblical. And then even then, like it got to a point where I'm thinking, y'all believe in the same book. And if you're really going to talk about biblical stuff, like everybody's a contradiction.
Sure. Yeah.
So then about the hell part, it's like I felt like I discarded that when I went to liberal Christianity, but it was still in that like, well, you know what? If what I thought was real back like in like Conservatopia, and I'm bringing it over to Liberalia, what if Liberalia is like going to hell because of what I learned in Conservatopia? It's
Yeah. You may not be able to reason yourself out of these feelings, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's always good to challenge our magical thinking. It's always good to sort of bring in more rationality, but you're working to address an emotional issue, and facts and logic may not answer those questions for you, and that's okay. You might ask yourself, what is it about this that is so scary to me? Is it fear that I feel? Is it actually guilt that I feel? Is the fear a worry about what's going to happen to me for all of eternity? Or am I really afraid that maybe I've betrayed some part of myself, that I've betrayed my family or the beliefs that used to be so important to me? I mean, I certainly don't want to try and psychoanalyze all of these ideas with you live on air, but I would encourage you to be asking some good questions, to be exploring some good resources, in addition to all of the videos that the ACA has done to address this question. I love to direct people to a wonderful book called Leaving the Fold by Marlene Winnell, as well as the great resources at an organization like Recovering from Religion. Jamie, anything else that you might want to add before we move on?
I can only add things from my personal experience, which might be helpful here. And then one of the things that helped me move past things that would haunt me from my past is recognizing, just again and again, thinking them through and doubting them, right? Like there's hell, but there's also a fear that my high school drama teacher was gonna call on me and I didn't have my lines memorized, right? From years ago, right? Years ago, I was in high school. I'm not anymore, as you might have guessed.
Of course.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Mr. Clausia's voice is still ringing in my ears, and it lives there rent-free because, But I moving past that and remembering, like, okay, it's in the past. And then The point that Christy touched on that I would emphasize as much as I can from my non-expert position is get rid of the word should. You decide what you should be, and forgive yourself for feeling those feelings, because they're hurting you and you don't want them to, and they don't have to.
There's no need to should all over yourself, as they say.
Don't.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's nothing that you should feel. There's just what you do.
Okay.
And we're here for you in spirit. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
And just a parting word, though, like it just dawned on me the famous Ben Shapiro quote, "Facts don't care about your feelings." Well, the inverse tends to be true. Feelings don't care about our facts.
Yeah, fair to say.
It's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you giving us a call. Best of luck in all of this. I hope you'll explore some of those resources and give us a call in the future. Even shoot us an email if there's anything else we can walk you through. For now, we appreciate you and hope you have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you.